everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. With the Phoenix Knights Racing Team, we are where we left off last time, and that is at the start of the new season. We've designed our chassis for the new car, we've got the new staff in, we're now ready to hit the ground running, and we don't have the worst car on the grid. So I'm quietly confident we can achieve our target of finishing in 6th position in the Constructors' Championship. So we'll take a bit more of a detailed look at our car, because that we haven't done so far. And the first thing you can notice when compared with last season's is these rather nice, lovely, low-profile tyres. I absolutely love them. I really do. Looking at the parts, we have the 9th best gearbox, the worst deceleration, the worst brakes, the 9th best front wing, the 8th best suspension, and the 7th best rear wing. So actually our car is not that bad. It's workable. Certainly not as bad as it was when we first started in the European Racing Series, where we had a lot of work to do. This is actually very much workable. So the first task, should we choose to accept it, is to design a new part. We need to focus this season particularly on developing as many parts as possible and having them be as good as possible. With a slight caveat that we also want to be able to use them if possible. So any parts that have a load of risky components we're going to leave till later in the season and focus on the parts that have less risky components. So we'll go through the list, doing this all on camera for those of you to see, those of you that want to see this kind of thing can observe, and those of you that don't can just simply skip forward to the race. But we need to focus on improving our car. So straight away, the best gearboxes, they are risky. So we're going to save that until the back end of the season. We want to be able to use these parts so that we've got some performance increase during the season itself. The brakes, there's no risk with the brakes. And there's no risk with these brakes either, although the best brakes do have a risk involved. So that's possible. At least we get some brakes that we can use. The front wing is littered with risky parts. The suspension usually isn't. Okay. So we're getting risk at the second level. So there's the suspension, we get at least one new suspension. We get one new set of brakes. Okay, what about the rear wing? That's again a high risk part. Right, well the order of the day here is... I think we'll start with the brakes then. So we'll start with the brakes. Or suspension. Brakes or suspension? Brakes or suspension? What's our worst part? The brakes are the worst. Right, okay, fine. So deceleration plus 10, that is the slight improvement, not much, but it's a slight improvement, so we'll focus on improving the brakes first. So that is going to be the first part that we build. As we embark on our journey to improve this vehicle as best we can, and it should be ready in 5 days, which will be before the race. It will have 50% reliability, which may be workable. Right, the second thing to focus on is fitting the parts to the cars. Now all of these parts, as you can see, apart from the spec part, are absolutely horrendous reliability. The first race is going to be nothing more than damage limitations, cars retiring left, right and centre. It's just going to be a car crash. And as we can see from the parts, they are all completely 100% equal across the board, so no driver has any advantage. So there was no point in me equipping or unequipping, sorry, all of these guys' parts. Didn't expect them to be all exactly the same, but there you go. So nobody can complain. They have a completely 50-50 split for the first race at least, if we don't use the brakes. Okay, so the final piece of the puzzle is to improve the reliability, and we are going to focus on the parts that are a higher risk at this racetrack of degrading. Gearbox, brakes, and front wing. Okay, gearbox, brakes, and front wing. They're all pretty much the same. We're not going to have enough time to fix the reliability of all of them, so one of them is going to have to suffer, and the one that's going to suffer is probably the one that's going to be quickest to change in the pits. And I would assume that the front wing is the quickest part to change, so we'll leave that as the lowest. Gearbox we'll focus on, and brakes as well. So we're going to have to repair the gearbox, the front wing, probably during both of our stops in the race itself. In terms of the performance of the parts, I mean, we're getting new brakes, so we'll hold off on that. I think gearbox is always good. And front wing, why not? We'll leave the suspension because we're also going to be building a suspension soon. So we'll focus on the parts that we're going to be building towards the back end of the season. Focus on their performance. So there you go, that is the performance done, the reliability done, that is the designing the new parts done. That is all we can do with the car for now. So before we press on with time and move our way towards the first race, I am going to reignite the feature of Meet the Team, and the reason why I do this is so that I've got some kind of a comprehension as to who we're up against. You know, I don't want to be racing against just random names and random coloured cars. I want to at least try and invest in getting to know the drivers, who we're going to be racing with, who we're going to stumble across on the track. So let's take a look, shall we? Now, I don't anticipate being anywhere near the front of the grid, but I will. So what I'm going to actually do for this Meet the Team is that we're going to start in reverse order. Now, I don't know what the hell this is based on, so I'm going to do it based on the performance of the car. So bear with me, folks. Who has the worst car? Ozu Motor Team. Right. So they will be the team that we take a look at first of all in our Meet the Team segment today. Ozu, Ozu, Ozu. There they are. A Japanese-based team. Their car is the worst on the grid. Even worse than ours, and that's saying something. Quite nice, striking red and white livery. Chairman is very happy with their team principal, who must be doing a very good job. They have a driver that's not too shabby. E. Tyler. I mean, look at him. I mean, look at him. They may have the worst car, but they've got a decent driver. And Stramby, who we can't see, but if we can see his range of stats, and they're pretty good as well. In fact, their drivers are third best on the grid, so not too bad a driver setup. Their lead designer, he's not bad, and their race mechanics, okay, workable. Their headquarters is absolutely terrible, as is their car. Their staff, 7th best. Their sponsors, yeah, so they've got a bit of work to do. They're going to struggle this season, it must be said, but you never know. There we go, we'll keep an eye out for them on the racetrack. It's Stramby and Tyler of Ozu Motor Team. Right then, let's move on. Today is Sergio's birthday. Well, would you credit that? Good old Valdez. Should we just get him a card? Can you imagine the uproar if we did not throw a big birthday bash for Valdez? He'd probably walk out on the team in absolute horror, so we better throw a party. Big party, where no doubt the tracks that will be blaring out the speakers will be his very own album, because that's how self-centered he is. Okay, our staff centre is complete. Very nice indeed. So we now have a brand new staff centre which will allow our staff to develop, and it will also allow where is it? will also allow our driver's focus to improve as well. But we're going to hold off now a little bit for the building work because we're going to be ploughing our money into parts for next season. Well, I'm kind of like erring on we really do need a new building for one of these things. Front wing, rear wing or suspension. There's suspension, that's 5 million. There's rear wing, it's 4.5. And that's engine we don't need. Front wing, 7. Do you know what? A simulator, 4.5 million. We got 28 in the bank. We got some decent sponsors, some marketability. Yeah. Why delay? Buy today. Sound like a bloody salesman. Right, so we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Why not? At the end of the day, the infrastructure is very vital to one's progression. I'm still debating whether or not we buy another building. This is... Why delay? Buy today. Suspension as well? Why the hell not? This could be a grievous error. We've just gone on a spending spree. We'll hold off. We'll hold off for the front wing building, the wind tunnel. we will actually hold off there. We will hold off. 20 weeks. Okay. We'll see how the first 3 or 4 races go. See what kind of money we bring in from the sponsors. If we're turning a positive cash flow, we may reconsider. But I think 2 buildings in one foul swoop is certainly enough for now. Our brakes are finished. Our brakes are done. Our brakes are ready to be fit straight away onto somebody's vehicle. And I've made another boob here because I've been focusing on the reliability of the brakes, and we actually have a brake ready at 50%, so that was a waste of time. Never mind. A bit of foresight wouldn't go amiss. Who is going to get the upgraded brakes? Sundin or Valdez? Both of them are equal status. Valdez is the champion and would probably expect to be gifted the best parts, but I'm going to leave it into the lap of the random number generator gods as to who shall benefit from these parts. So I have a random number generator on my phone ready to go. Number 1 is Sundin and number 2 is Valdez. Speak to me. Who shall have these brakes? Valdez is the answer. Completely random. Valdez gets the brakes. Right then. I wonder if we need to tweak this now. Zazu. Hey, Zazu. I think we'll just take a smidgen of front wing. Just a smidgen. I really think actually, no. This is a tough call. We've got 50% brakes. I mean, I don't think we're going to get it much higher. We're going to probably have to come in and change them regardless. So I think, yeah, just a little touch of front wing, I feel is probably best. Ah, but look at this. The actual max performance of some of these parts are different. I see. So that is better. Right. So that's 425444. So that is the better of the two so far. Right, lovely. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, look at that! Our car's gone up to the 8th best on the grid now all of a sudden. I think this is going to be close. I think maybe between sort of 8th position, 8th best car and sort of 6th best car, I reckon the gap is fairly close. This is a real good sign. With the best drivers, we can probably do this, you know. I'm feeling confident. Our brakes are now the 8th best. That reminds me, we have more work to do. We have more work to do, more brakes to build. This is where we're going to miss our previous designer. I have a feeling that we've made a mistake here. Even though Sokolov's rear wing was so poor, that component that he had that gave us an extra good part was really, really good for developing your car in the early stages. And we were paying him far less than this guy. I think that was possibly a mistake. But anyway, we won't dwell on such things. We can only move forward. And the way we move forward is by improving our car. 498535. Okay, so that one's better. It is risky, so we're not going to use it, but it's going to help to develop our car for next season. Let's go for it. Right, that's going to be ready after this next race, but it doesn't make no difference because we're not going to use it. Moving on. Okie dokie, race weekend is now upon us. Here we go. So we're going to have to get our bearings here. Slightly different strategies perhaps from the other season. New race tracks, new cars. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So what we have here is we have a situation where our fuel tanks are capable of one-stopping. It means we can one-stop. But that's going to be dictated by the tyre wear, because I have a feeling that the tyres won't be conducive to one-stopping. So I still think, like last season, the best strategy will be to two-stop. We'll see how that plays out and see what the other cars do as well. We've got a very high fuel burn on this track, high tyre wear, which is also going to mean it's probably going to be a two-stop race, and 20 laps, which is longer than anything we've done so far. Super soft tyres and soft tyres available. No hint of rain. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. So the question is, where on earth are we going to finish? I think the most conservative option will be the best. I have a feeling that we're going to finish in the points today. As cars break down, if we maintain focus and maintain a pace that is good for preserving the parts of our car, I think whilst cars crash and burn around us, we could do well. But I'm not going to say we're going to finish third. So 7th or above for 600,000. The parts are fit. The die is cast. Singapore. Here we come. As usual, I will do practice off camera. Join me for the first qualifying session of the season. Alright, hello and welcome back. The qualifying is about to begin. Practice didn't go too bad, to be fair. It was all about setting the cars up, getting the setups right, getting the race bonus and the race tyre bonus up to maximum. Managed to do that, but didn't quite have enough time to get the qualifying trim, any sort of bonus for qualifying, or the harder tyre. But Sundin, not too bad a time, 14th fastest with a 126.7. Valdez a little bit further afield, but we know that Valdez excels predominantly in the races. And this time, of course, not really indicative to what's going to happen in qualifying or indeed the race, as we've seen from previous endeavours. But it's nice just to get some decent times on the board for the first race of the season. And Sundin doesn't appear best impressed. It's going to take time, dear. You can't just get promoted and expect to cruise to victory in a new series. But just trust in Potter. Has he let you down yet? It's questionable, considering she lost her title. And she did lose it. She threw it away. Well, that wasn't Potter's fault. Although some of you may argue it was, considering what he did to her in Milan. But anyway, I digress. This is going to be qualifying, and therefore the softer tyre, the super soft, will be the option for both cars. The setups are nice for both drivers. Valdez, I have to say, got his setup right first time of asking. First time. Set the car up, went out, did one lap, was extremely happy with it. This man is full of confidence. Right, 7th or above and we get a bonus. That would be nice. So, here we go. It's a slightly longer qualifying session than before. I think before was, what, 8 minutes? Now it's 10. Shouldn't make a massive difference. We check the weather. It's going to be dry all race. The usual strategy is to wait until the very end to set our lap. I don't really see any reason to change that, unless we want to have 2 chances. We've got enough time to do 2 laps. So we could kind of like do a banker lap. See if we can get the setup right. The flying lap for the flying lap. It's better than 1 shot, isn't it? Right, I think what we'll do is we'll try and play this a little bit by ear today. So we're going to let the time roll down, and we're going to just maybe go out, not straight away, because we don't want to go out on a completely, utterly devoid of grip track, but let a few people do their outlaps and stuff, and then maybe go out with like a couple of minutes gone. The track isn't too bad, but as we go out now, people will start to be pouring out and doing their outlaps. So ideally we want to be one of the last teams to go out so that we're not really caught in traffic. I think what we'll do is we'll send Sundin out now. Let her go out first, see if she can get into the mix. And she's right behind a vehicle, which is absolutely marvellous. And then we shall send out Valdez now. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to this. There's probably a more precise way of doing it, but we're just going to kind of guesstimate. We are relying on doing our usual trick and pulling out a flying lap right at the death of the session, which will hopefully give us a bit more of an opportunity to get into clear air. But let's have a look how these 2 guys set their cars up ready for the hot lap. Starting with Sundin, who does appear to actually be in a little bit of clear air here. This could be handy. Let's bring the temperatures down. Let's bring the temperatures down. Let's bring the temperatures down. Good and perfect. That's good. And she is not 100% in clear track, but if nobody interferes, we could be alright. She's off and flying. Valdez! Good and good. Is he in clear track? Yes, he is. So this could be good. We've got 2 drivers on decent setups for their outlaps, which means their flying laps should be pretty decent and are in clear air. Well, let's go Sundin. She's only 3/10 down on the pole time in the first sector. That's not really too bad. That is not too bad at all. So far, you know, if we get roughly about, say, 6/10 down in the second sector, there's a lot of buildings and stuff in here to get in your way, so she's coming round now to the last few corners. Here we go, crosses the line, 9th. Okay, we'll work with that. Valdez, where is Valdez? He's passing a car. How much did that interfere? Ooh, I suggest probably quite a bit. Is he going to beat Sundin's time? Not quite. He's down in 13th. He's down in 13th. That's 2/10 slower than Sundin. This is usually what Valdez does. He's usually slower qualifying. He was faster at the back end of last season when he had his tail up and he was absolutely flying with momentum. But he, for the whole, usually is slower in qualifying. But that's not too far behind. Don't think we're going to make top 7. That's quite a jump. 3/10 to find is quite a lot. But I think Valdez could certainly go up the grid. Sundin might be able to pick 8th place. So all is not lost. Right. I'm going to let Valdez go out first this time. And we're going to go out. It's taking us about 1 minute 22 to do a flying lap. Right, okay. So we want to be going out, really, as late as possible. We want to be crossing that line. Right, go. Go, 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 go. New set of tyres. New set of tyres. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Ooh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's 122. It's going to be close for Sundin. She's going to get a second lap. She'll kill us if she doesn't. Send her out now. Go, 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 go. Right, here we go again. It's all about getting that car set up. Right on the outlap. Now, hopefully, a lot of it... I don't know if these people are going to get in our way or not. Right, we'll stick with Valdez for now. So he's on his outlap. Sundin seems to be in a bit more of clear air. Oh, no, she doesn't, actually. I tell a lie. I tell a flaming lie. Although that is the leader ahead of her, and he's on his hot lap, so... Which means he's going to be on his in lap when we pass... Oh, that's not... Whoa! Perfect and perfect! Valdez, where is he? And the car ahead of him has gone into the pits. Valdez has got the perfect outlap. And he's now on his hot lap and hopefully will be flying. Sundin overheated the brakes and she's got traffic. This is bad news for Sundin, but Valdez could improve his time. First sector, 4 tenths down though. That's a significant... Look at Sundin. First sector, she's only 0.45 down. She's on a flyer here. And Valdez is just encountering traffic. That seems to be the Ozu driver getting right in the way. 9 tenths down at the second sector. This is an atrocious time. He's not going to improve. I'll be surprised if he does. No. Oh, he does! 11th place, but Sundin's on a flyer. She's in 6th. Beautiful! Absolutely pulled it out of the bag. Sundin has qualified, the last driver pretty much to cross the line on a flying lap, and she has qualified in 6th position, just half a second slower than the first guy, Woodford. I mean, Valdez did well to improve his time, but Sundin has pulled off an absolute stormer. 7 tenths faster than Valdez. Where was this pace, Sundin, when you needed it most last season? Maybe she's had a right old kick up the jacksie and she is going to put Valdez in his place this season. It remains to be seen. Right, so we have, that is the grid. We shall check it out on the next screen, but that is a very, very promising sign. Half a second slower than the fastest car in this series. I've got a feeling we're going to have a good season here. And with race trim, extra performance increase, some good strategy calls by Mr. Potter when it's required. You never know. I've got a feeling we're going to get a couple of podiums this season. I really do. Right. Okay, so the strategies then. It's going to be... we're going to bank on it being a two-stop strategy, utilising the quickest tyre, coming in round about lap 7. We may have to have a slightly longer stint on the harder tyre if the tyre wear is too much on these, but we'll see what happens. So we're not going to utilise all that fuel. 7 laps. We'll put in 8 to start with. In fact, we'll go 1 less with Sundin actually, because she's ahead, so she wants a lighter fuel load than Valdez, just to try and see if she can get off the line a bit better. Valdez, yep, tyres fine. Go 8 laps of fuel for him. So both cars are going to be 2-stopping. We're going to have to obviously keep an eye on the you know, the park condition. So it's Woodford, McNeil Racing in pole, Chariot in second. We've got Vidal. Third is Sabardo. Look at that. One of our nemesis from the previous series, Sabardo, driving for the Firebird team, has been promoted to McNeil Racing, to the front of the grid in the Asia Pacific Cup. Well done, Sabardo. Fiore is in 4th at Chariot. We've got a host of other names that we don't recognise just yet, but we'll soon recognise them when we are racing wheel to wheel. Sundin in 6th, Marino, Leclerc, and there's Valdez in 11th. Well done, Valdez. Okay, here we go. We're going to follow Sundin to start with. She is in 6th position, and we are racing, and she's got a very sluggish start. Valdez usually is the better starter of the two. Off we go. She hasn't lost a... Well, she's just about to lose a place. Is she going? Or is she going to gain a place? She's battling here. She's battling, and oh no, it's a bit touch and go here. It's very touch and go indeed. She's still in 5th. She's still in 5th. Was she in 6th? Is she going to be in 3rd? Yes, she is. She's absolutely on a flyer here. Go Sundin, and Valdez is up into 9th. A great start for the Phoenix Knights drivers on the first lap of Singapore. Sundin in 4th. Right, what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to ensure that we do not get too far ahead of ourselves, and we're going to just have to ensure that we just turn things down here, because we need to A, not overheat the tyres, B, not strain our parts too badly. So we're going to just go in normal mode, maintain position now, and just observe what the other cars do. We've got some drivers are pushing, Sabado's pushing, so is Woodford, but it's all about the car condition for this race. It really is. If we can just get away with fixing minimal parts. Holy moly, Valdez has crashed. I don't believe it. First race of the season, and he's out. He was pushing hard, he was flying, he'd moved up a couple of places, and boof, off he goes. The pressure, has it gotten to him already? I mean, one car to look after now should make Potter's life a bit easier, but you've got to feel for Valdez. Right, this is now vitally important that Sundin gets as many points as possible in this race. And I am really liking how she is keeping up with the top cars in this series, as she just gets past as I'm saying that. Very nice. Fiore flies past, and she's now got Fox all over her rear wing, but we're not going to panic. Another crash driver, Nightingale, has crashed out. More yellow flags. So the tyre wear's looking a little bit ropey at the moment, but we've got a decent amount of fuel left. She's defending well. Fox trying to find a way past, but he's struggling to get past Thundering Sundin, who is just maintaining her cool. She's in the points. Can Phoenix Knights Racing get a point scoring finish in their very first race? It would quite be something. So Vidal is in first position. He's looks to be not pulling away too much, but he's just got it all under control at the moment. It's fine. It's at the very early stages of the race. There is still a hell of a lot that can transpire. And it looks like we've got another crasher. Kanjiro is now crashed. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Is this track so difficult that people can't control themselves? As Sundin now looking to go around the outside of Fiore, and she might just make it stick. I think she is. She's up into 4th position. Go Sundin. Oh no, she's been passed back again. It looks like Fiore wasn't going to give it without a fight. And she has to now defend from Fox, who is looking for a way around the outside. And he's going almost off the track to do it. Sundin is just about keeping ahead there. Just about keeping ahead. Right, the rear wing is looking very, very shady right now. We are going to be coming in a couple of laps' time. And the second stint is going to be our longest stint, so I'm just thinking, what do we want to do here? Do we want to just not fix anything this stop, or do we want to fix one thing this stop? I think if we fix the rear wing, we should be okay. Let's have a look. There we are going here. Do we have enough laps, enough fuel to get another lap in? Certainly have enough tyres. Can't really push too hard. We can push the engine a little bit because the condition of the engine is good due to the fact that we have spec engines. Have we got enough fuel though? I don't think we have enough fuel to do another lap, you know. Could be wrong. Oh, 1.04. It's vital that we get this right, because if we get it wrong, we're going to run out of fuel on the next lap. I think we're going to have to pit now. Right then, so I think we're going to go for a slightly longer stint. Those tyres lasted fairly well, and that was with a start as well on push. So if we go for 9 laps of fuel, we're going to have to fix something here. What is the maximum? So this in 6 laps has lost 7%. I think what we'd do is, if we go conserve for a lot of this stint, we should just about get away with some of this, but I don't want to be... Suspension. That's lost 10%. Right, I'm going to risk it and not fix anything this stop and see what happens in the next one. Right, so fuel's good. We've changed the tyres. Sundin is coming in. So she's coming very early. We're 2 stopping. I don't know if any of the other cars are going to be 2 stopping, 1 stopping, 5 stopping due to parts problems. Sundin, of course, has her new race mechanic, her Swedish compatriot, and Sundin is now rejoining the track in 9th position. We're going to continue in the same kind... Uh-oh. What's happening? Oh my god, it's just taken an absolutely massive drop in condition. It bloody would do after we've just pitted, wouldn't it? We're now going to have to go a long time with this wing as it is. I should have fixed it. And now we're stuck in traffic as well. So it's not going to help us out. But this is a race of attrition, is this? This is all about finishing the race in one piece. So we're going to turn down the engine mode. Try and conserve as many parts as possible. A couple of the cars ahead of us are going to be pitting. Hopefully getting out of our way. The leaders are pitting. Are they going to be fixing their parts this time around, or just going for fuel and tyres? Who knows? Let's have a look. We're going to feed out into this little equation. We're currently in 8th. We're trying to pass 7th. We have passed 7th. We're not in the points, but we're meeting our sponsor target. All of the drivers are going on the longer stints here by the looks of it. All of these cars ahead of us still have to pit as well, so we're not looking too bad. The only thing that's worrying me is the car condition, but we won't look at that for now. I mean, if push comes to shove, we can always come in a little bit earlier and go for a really long final stint. Fix all of the parts and just go for a real long final stint. We have the capacity in the fuel tank to do that if we need to, so we don't have to take the parts right down to the bone if we don't need to. So currently Sundin is now up into 4th. Just making sure she's maintaining the condition of her car. Zarate still has to come in, and we're only 8 seconds behind him. She's not looking too shabby. Although the car is. I think we're going to have to fix every flipping part for that final stop. Every single part we're going to have to fix. We're going to be in the pit, stood still for about a minute. I don't want to look at it. It's depressing. Don't want to look at it. Right, here we go. So Zarate is coming in to the pits, as is the guy in 5th position. First few races of the season are going to be so hellacious with the you know, trying to get your parts sorted. It's going to be so difficult. Right, Sundin just maintaining this pace. Rear wing still looking dodgy. The longer we can go on this stint, the better. The longer we can go on this stint, the better. We're going to delay this stint for as long as possible. That's exactly what we're going to do. Thought I saw a moth there, and my window is open, the lights are on. I'm fearful of moths attacking me in the second half of this race. Right, we've got Ingledew coming into the pits. Sundin, just keep going. This is going to be a very strange race of just watching Sundin just cruise around. It's all about the attrition. 4th place, we've got Marino, who seems to be driving pretty quickly. We're making no inroads on Fox or Fiore. I mean, he's miles away. Or she. Is it a he or a she? I still can't. I think it's a she. But look at her. She's flying. Absolutely flying. But is her car going to survive? That is the question. Old Foxy here. Foxy Loxy. The American driver in a yellow car who's... I don't know which car this is. It's just a yellow car to me. Is she going to be able to survive? Sundin in 3rd position. Her usual calm demeanour shining through right now. These are the kind of races where she excels. The kind where she just has to be patient. We get the feeling, we've seen the evidence, that Valdez is a very fast driver on his day, but he's a bit hit and miss. He can be rash, he can be bold. Sometimes you need that quality in a racing driver. But as we've seen today, as we saw in Munich in the 3rd race of last season, can be prone to catastrophe. But when you just need that calm head, when you just need the accumulation of vital points in a series that you're new to, and you need to finish at least 6th in the Constructors, look no further than Thunder in Sundin. Right, she's still going. We still have the tyres. We still have enough fuel. The condition looking a bit ropey. We're now going to go up to medium because we're going to have to fix the parts anyway. Her rear wing is really now struggling. So what we'll do is I think we're going to go around this lap and then that's it. Or do we come in now? Do we come in this lap or do we go one more? Every part needs fixing. Oh, it's going to be a painful pit stop. I'm just hoping that everybody else has the same problem. We've got retirees. No, we have to pit because the tyres. We have 7 laps, which means that we can do it on the fastest tyre. We're not going to be pushing the car, so we only need to put enough fuel to get to the end of the race, which is a very short 3-lap splash. But this is where we're going to struggle. Now, that needs fixing 100%. Can we get away in 6 laps? Let me just test. This is such a risk for the sake of saving time. 53 to 29. That's like 10% every 6 or 7 laps. That would go down to 19%. That's so close. So close, but is it 51 to 29? It's about 10% as well. 29. Oh, I just don't know. I just really don't know if it's worth risking. If it's worth risking not fixing these parts. What if one breaks? If we go low engine and conserve tyres so that we're putting absolutely no strain on the car at all, can we get round in 7 laps? I think it's so risky, but look at this. Time 6 seconds. 41 seconds. That's an extra 35 seconds for fixing everything. If we need to come in again, because one of the parts is definitely gonna cark it on us, a pit stop in and out's about 20 odd. My only reservation is the fact that last time we came in the pits, we had a massive drop to the wing. I'm going to be really, really foolish here. Right, the suspension wasn't classed as a vital part for this track. The gearbox was, the front wing was, and the brakes were. So they're the key parts. So they're the ones that are going to degrade faster. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I just don't know what to do. We're on the borderline. Any less than this percentage, it's an easy fix. Any more than this percentage, it's an easy risk it. This is the borderline. 29, 30%, that is the borderline. You know what? Sundin is not a Valdez. She is safe. It means we can probably push on the last lap as well, because we'll have fresh parts. So I'm going to put an extra lap of fuel in to allow us to push as well. Right, we're just going to go safe. Sundin is the safe one. We've asked her, what do you want to do? Do you want to fix all your parts? Do you want to risk it? She said, no, we're going to play it safe. Valdez would probably just gone out without fixing anything further and risked it. Sundin's just going to play it safe. We're going to be sat here for a very long time. It's going to feel like an absolute eternity. A lot of other cars still have to pit though, so that's the only saving grace. Oh, this is so painful. Cars are just whizzing past. And we've also made a mistake on one of the parts. This is so horrendous. Go! Oh. Go, 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 go. Right. We're going to go for it. We're going to push. We can't really push the tyres too much just yet. Right. We're going to have to now hope that the cars ahead of us have to pit. Maybe another retirement or two. We've played it safe, but now Sundin has the capacity to push her engine and push the tyres. You know what? No, let's just go push, push. Come on, Sundin has to do it. She's going to now go for it. She's going to put the pedal to the metal. A lot of the people ahead are conserving tyres, normal engine modes. So I'm just now going to go for it. We're going to really try and get some points here. Sabado's in the pits. We've passed Sabado. We don't have to stop again. Vidal, is he going to be able to make it on those tyres? Zhuang, are they going to be able to make it on those tyres? Marino, Shah. Fiori's well out in front. It's all about whether or not they need to fix their parts as well. I mean, this could have been a mistake. Fixing all of those parts could have been an error. But Sundin playing it safe. Just gonna go down on the tyres here. Although it says lap 16, we are only on lap 15, which means we've got 16, 17, 18, we've got 5 laps after this. So we just want to be careful. Another couple of people in the pits. Sundin up to 5th position. We're in the points. How many more points can we get is the question. Can we even get a podium? Dare we dream of such things? Sabado is out of the pits and flying. Where is he? He's well down. Absolutely well down the field. We don't have to worry about him. Come on, Sundin. Her pace is decent. Her pace is decent. Vidal. Mr. Sassoon. He's not pitting. He's got a very good pace. His tyres are not going to last till the end of the race. He definitely has to pit again. In fact, he should have pitted now. He's going to be running an entire lap on degraded tyres. Tyres that have gone off the cliff. Marino is retired. Sundin is going to gain 2 places here. She is going to make it on the podium. Can she stay there? The parts are good. Maybe the conservative strategy to fix all the parts was a good one. 3 laps remaining for the leader. Sundin still pushing. Still pushing. Vidal has to pit again. So does Ingledew, and she's catching them both. This could even be a 2nd place. No, you don't dare speak of such things, surely. Surely not. In our first race of the season. Thundering Sundin getting second place. Come on, Fiore. Crash and burn, please, love. Crash. She's got a problem with one of her parts. She's flashing red. This is not beyond the realms of possibility here. Sundin could win this damn thing. This fills Potter with absolute joy, but also with absolute horror, because if Valdez had have just taken a conservative approach, we could possibly have got massive points today. He's going to have a good talking to Valdez after this race is finished. Sometimes you just got to understand when to push and when not to. Tyre temps are high. Fiore, she's got those warning lights flashing. How much further can she go? She's got 2 laps to go. Is she going to make it? Sundin is absolutely praying to the gods that she doesn't make it. We wouldn't wish her to crash and burn and cause injury, but you know, engine just blow up in a cloud of black smoke would be nice. The final lap, she's crossed the line for her final lap. Oh, come on, Fiore. Come on, love. Come on. Black smoke. Black smoke. Oh, it's not her. Somebody else is smoking, though. Sundin is fine. She doesn't have to push now. I don't want her to spin off. Just go normal. Fiore is just creeping round. She's conserving the tyres, not putting the strain on the suspension. She's cruising round. There's just a couple more corners to go. She's going to welcome this line because she's so close to retirement. Her car is on its last legs. The last hairpin bend. Oh, Fiore's going to do it. She is going to do it. She has won the race. But let's not be too disheartened, because here she comes, the Swedish sensation, Thundering Sundin, in a team that has been newly promoted from the European Racing Series. She is going to finish on the podium in second position. 6 vital points. Well done, Sundin! Get in there! She feels as if she's got a point to prove this season after letting the championship slip away last time. And she has certainly got off to a very good start. Valdez, well, too busy making albums of music in your off-season when you should have been focusing on honing your driving skills. Living the high life. Not impressed. We could have got second and third there, I think. I think Valdez would have been able to do something similar to Sundin. I think we could have definitely got him maybe third or fourth and picked up even more points. But we won't be greedy. It makes for good reading. Sundin, great stuff. Her usual style of just getting the car round, doing what needs to be done to gather points. Okay. Phew. We don't expect her to get any points for fastest lap. Certainly not in this current car. But look at that. 4 retirements, 3 crashes. This was absolute carnage. Absolute carnage. But yeah, 6 points on the board for Phoenix Knights Racing Team. A podium for Sundin. I had a feeling we were going to get some podiums this season. Didn't expect them to come quite so quickly. But yeah, when we develop the car and get those parts working for us as well, we're going to continue to move up the performance levels. This is good. This is a very good transition that Phoenix Knights have made into the series. They are certainly a team to be taken very seriously. Second in the Constructors. Probably not going to last. But as long as we finish above 6, it's a successful season. Wow, what a session. It's been a long one. These races are slightly longer than the European Racing Series. The qualifying session's a bit longer. And, you know, if you want me to do all of the stuff in terms of designing the car, parts and stuff on camera, these sessions are going to be roughly, 50 minutes to an hour. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to continue to keep those portions of the episode in? Do you want me to maybe put them in every couple of episodes? I'm happy either way, because I have to do it anyway, so it makes no difference to me. Stats improvement for both drivers, very good. Thankfully, Valdez did not injure himself during that crash, so he'll be back next race with a point to prove. And we actually made a small profit due to our sponsorship. So, all in all, good day in the office. Right, unless there's anything urgent that needs doing, which I don't think there will be, we'll just check the mail. We're done for the day. Okay, Williford, car conditions, interview, I'll reject, because they're probably just going to say, oh, Valdez crashed, what do you have to say about it? And then I'm going to tick him off, so I won't bother. Won't bother at all. Won't bother answering your questions. Thank you so much. Okay, so there we go. Podium finish for Sundin. I know there's a few Sundin fans out there that want to see her redeem herself. She's got off to a good start in doing that. So join me next time for the Beijing GP in China. Can Valdez bounce back? Find out next time. Till then, see you soon.